Hi, I'm Ferdy Serum, and I'd like to share with you our plans for the Oregon Workforce RFP, which is a collaboration between SEL for New Mexico and SEL for Oregon, supported by New Mexico FACES, Family and Community Engagement Solutions. The grant is put out by the Higher Education Coordinating Commission of Oregon. Their Future Ready Oregon Workforce Ready grants are intended to allow them to invest differently, encourage innovation, and intentionally bring new partners into their workforce system. There are two focus areas, one for career advancement, which implies transferable technology skills being used to upskill and reskill adult learners, dislocated workers, and individuals, the non-traditional students that we're very concerned with. The second area is recruitment, expanding education and training programs for these same people to build awareness and provide opportunities for high-tech career exploration. This is very similar to the goals that we are pursuing here in New Mexico around the Yazzie Martinez case. And through SEL for New Mexico, FACES has begun working with partners. We're working with C&M Ingenuity to think about technology transfer that may be needed. We're working with Highlands University's Institute for Culturally and Linguistically Responsive Learning and Teaching, and we're participating in their Indigenous Knowledge Roadmap project. This also involves dual language education of New Mexico for bilingual and Transform Education, which has been pivotal in the Yazzie Martinez lawsuit. So we're working towards the same ends that Oregon is, and we believe we have some resources we could bring to them that could make it mutually beneficial. Our work in FACES began in Taos 2 years ago, and we were pursuing digital divide problems. We were looking at the gap between those who have affordable access skills and support to effectively use online and those who do not. Digital equity is the goal, and that's a condition in which all individuals and communities have the information technology capacity needed for full participation in our society, democracy, and economy. So the answer is digital inclusion, which includes robust, affordable broadband, internet-enabled devices, internet skills training, quality tech support, online content for self-sufficiency, participation, and collaboration. And on paper, this looks great. So does the money that's coming, but ultimately it will fail until and unless we address the need for transformative social emotional learning. This is what FACES has learned by working with SEL for New Mexico, and so we have come up with a method of including these 5 skills, actually 6 for us. It starts with curiosity. Without that, there's no learning. Identity is very important for unlocking the power of non-traditional students to give them their agency, a sense of belonging, develop their skills in problem solving together, and the one we add in for FACES, which is trust, because we rely on peer coaching. The research backs us up from OECD. They know that students with strong skills in problem solving are going to have higher academic performance and well-being, while adults with strong skills in literacy, numeracy, and problem solving will have higher employment levels, wages, and health outcomes. And the key skills here between employability and SEL are task performance, emotional regulation, collaboration, open-mindedness, and engaging with others. We're developing evidence of the attainment of all of these skills. So on the left, what SEL for New Mexico and FACES are bringing to the party is combined with what SEL for Oregon is doing. They're already participating in the dual language education of New Mexico quite extensively, and to that we add the same things we're doing in New Mexico, the CSM certificate for hiring preferences and prior learning credits, as well as the North Star digital literacy curriculum. So what is CSM? It's an online course that builds college-level, non-algebra quantitative reasoning, along with supporting the applied literacy and problem solving. This allows people to develop high-performance competencies that are both college completion and workforce success skills, aligned with the common employability skills framework. And for people who need it, it provides deep remediation to the 5th grade math and literacy. I know this for a fact because I've completed my own myself, and it was very difficult, very challenging, and very rewarding to earn that. In New Mexico, though, we have a problem. The literacy requirement for jobs versus the actual literacy of our people is quite different. 2/3 of the jobs require greater than 8th grade literacy, which only 12% of our people have. So our intervention of using the CSM, which is accessible to people down to a 5th grade literacy, already multiplies that by 3. And when we add in support from the Family Learning Company, we can actually make it so that 80% of our people, rather than 12 of them, would be able to participate in the work-based learning and the job development skill programs that are available through the college. So here's our work plan. Our New Mexico partners and communities, we're looking at 2,000 participants over 2 years in 20 communities around regional hubs of Farmington, Taos, Albuquerque, Roswell, and Las Cruces, which are places where 100% New Mexico is very active. Our partners are SEL for New Mexico and FACES, who together will be the project lead and develop the SEL workforce curriculum, C&M for its workforce and prior learning credit expertise, Highlands University with the ICL-RLT and the Indigenous Knowledge Roadmap, Dual Language Education of New Mexico for bilingual integration, Seymour Impact Labs, who provides the CSM course and certificate, and the 100% New Mexico initiative for outreach in the 17 counties that are already participating. So we'll support Goal 1, career advancement, through the CSM High Performance Certificates, the Ascend Employer Participation, and CTE-based learning for technology pathways. Our recruitment goals will be met by outreach to rural and tribal non-traditional students in dual language, offering also the CSM Career Strategies course at off-campus events, libraries, and community organizations, since the population we want is not enthusiastic about returning to the setting of formal education, and outreach from 100% New Mexico's communities employers. Our support capacity will extend through Workforce Readiness Data Hub, which will gather all of our evidence for analytics and for program monitoring. The Ascend Workforce Readiness Workshops will provide, and where needed, family literacy and numeracy coaches. So our indicators will be the number and percent of assets that we map in the Workforce Readiness Data Hub, the number and percent of unserved and underserved families participating in community anchor institutions, the number and percent completing the Workforce Readiness Workshops, the number and percent of employers offering CSM hiring preferences, and our regular assessment of program quality and progress. Our indicators in support of developing local technology talent will be the number of families completing the workshops and certificates, the number of participants enrolling in post-secondary and workforce programs, the number and percentage entering early learning, health, and IT workforce, and the number of employers hiring Ascend participants. And finally, the number and percent completing the CTE work-based learning for technology pathways. This will allow communities to experience increased well-being for health, work, and learning. We bring to the table a bit of a head start because we've already developed the data system and the ecology that will provide the evidence of technology competency skill development. Here, as we're seeing the first 3 tiers of the Department of Labor's building blocks model: personal effective competencies, academic competencies, and workplace competencies. All of these will be tagged in our system. And the model that 100% New Mexico uses in its counties is also a great asset for us in New Mexico. On the left, you see the 5 skills that are necessary for people to survive: food, housing, medical, dental care, behavioral health care, and transportation. All of these service providers desperately need talented people, and CSM is going to give them a head start in finding these people. For thriving, the people in the communities require parent supports, early childhood learning, community schools, youth mentors, and job training. And the human capacity for this will also be served by our program. So everybody will be welcome in terms of what we're doing. That's an overview of our project. I hope you found it helpful.